All right, good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Haterade from the Tales from the Age of Men with the second development blog. Just to kind of show you a couple things. One, I want to showcase Rune. So we did the north here. Now we're going to move on to Rune. We kind of have that completed. Name subject to change, of course. It's not 100% set in stone. We were just once again, names are kind of easy to change. Just one line in XML, not that hard. But I just wanted to show off the rune area of kind of where these are going to be from a kind of major settlement standpoint. Still have to test to make sure that the distance, even though we're adding code to the game to kind of change the logic, the AI logic, make sure that they actually are attacking and doing what we need to do. This is not done. I think that we might clean this up just a little bit, but overall kind of leave it alone until we can get some maybe native assets in here. We'll probably add a native assets maybe after the Empire or something like that, just to kind of do a placeholder for that and the men that are in that area. But yeah, so this is Rune that Black Rose has completed. Now, when I say complete, ladies and gentlemen, is what we're focusing on right now is make it playable. From a map standpoint, like okay, make sure that all this is good. It works, it's playable. The details, however, are going to come little bit later after probably all the map is done. We'll go through kind of like what a lot of mods did. ADOD did it. They kind of commissioned Lemmy to come in after all the map was done to then come in and do texturing and just adding those fine points onto the map. We'll probably do the same. The next piece that we're working on right now is this region, Harad, Southern Gondor, Umbar, and then we'll move on to Khand last. And then I think the map, well, I guess we have to do the west, but the map is basically done in Rivendell. But the map will basically be done after that. We'll probably just beautify this region. I don't know what we'll do with it yet. We'll have to kind of discuss it internally what we want to do. Obviously, Linden will be over here. We have the armors for them anyway, so we might as well make it. Yeah, and then we'll kind of start from a map perspective to start beautifying these. Come back through, do some slight fixes and changes and stuff like that. So. Yep, that just once again wanted to show that off. The next thing, I did receive a fix from Solos for specific weapons. What we're going to do is we're going to enter the Smith. When you import the weapons, and I'll show this a little bit probably later, but when you import the weapons, we decided to kind of make each single weapon craftable. Now there are some mods that choose not to do this, and I understand. I don't use the smithing myself, but it is nice to double check the weapons and make sure that they actually fit together, especially if you want to start mixing and matching native assets and your own custom assets, making sure that they all kind of fit together. One of the things that you can do to save down cost, especially like for a lot of these saber weapons, probably reuse those for Harad, Rune, etc., Khand, etc., etc. I think that we don't have to actually commission too much from that perspective. Maybe export it out and redo the textures, make them look a little bit better than whatever Tau Worlds did. But anyways, long story short is this is what I do to test and make sure that everything is working. So as you can see with the native asset, right? Sorry, I apologize. With the native guard handle and pommel, looks fine. With the blade, looks like it's roughly 3 inches, maybe 4 inches higher than it, or centimeters. I apologize, it is centimeters. 4 centimeters higher than where it needs to be. So we might have to move that down. So we mess with meters in Blender. I can also change it to centimeters, but meters, and then I think the in-game does, the XMLs are like centimeters. Pretty sure that's how it works, but yeah, so obviously the blade's going to have to come down, but what I really want to do is obviously check it with the, Yeah, you see, and that's once again, I think that that's important to like realize is like if I look at this, right, so I can immediately tell what is wrong. Is it what piece is wrong is what I'm trying to get at. Is it the blade? Is it the guard? Is it the handle? Like where in the blender, and I'll show this a little bit later, the blender file, what piece is wrong. And it seems to me, if I look at that, the blade is out of position by about 3 to 4 inches, and or sorry, centimeters. I'm going to say inches all the time, sorry. And I'm going to go in there and fix that. So that's how you quickly kind of assess what piece you need to start messing with, because you want to do it one piece at a time. You do not want to mess around with a lot of pieces, because then you're just going to it's just going to be very confusing. Because I'll bring this over here, right? You can see that piece offset, previous piece offset set, and next piece offset. Like I already kind of have I already kind of messed around with this a little bit, but the long story short is you want to mess with these one at a time, especially when you're dealing with a lot of them, to make sure what is the issue, and then move on to fixing those pieces one by one. I've been playing around with this for enough time that I kind of know what's right and what's wrong. But when you're doing a whole lot of them, trust me, like when he sends like a whole kingdom, or Keyforce sends a whole kingdom, it does get sort of annoying to come in here and do this. So this is kind of like the most tedious work. But I can quickly figure out, okay, what piece is kind of wrong. So obviously the guard's fine where it is. This needs to move up, so I can do that with the next piece or the last piece. I have to go figure out which one it is. Very easy to kind of do. But so, from a blade perspective, it's working fine. I'm just going to have to move the, and obviously it's not going to fit because this is who is it? Rivendell sword. So it's not going to fit native things 100% perfectly, but you can see like, okay, it is somewhat decently placed, but obviously we got a little gap there. I can easily fix that. So once again, blade, move down probably about, I'll go down 4 inches. I'll go down 3 inches. It's better to be off and see a little bit of a gap than it is to like it go inside of it and then have to go bring it back out. So once again, we'll see what I'm saying here in a second. Let's look at the hilt. Make sure, yep, every single one. So I'm just going through, like you see how every single one is the same distance except that weird crazy one. It's sort of the same distance. So to me, I need to, in the XML, see the previous piece or next piece. I have to figure out specifically which one it is. I have to move that up probably, I don't know, that's probably a good 4 centimeters, maybe 3. So I'll just do 3 and 3 and see what happens with that. And then, of course, let me go back to this. This I already fixed, but here's, you can look at this. The pommel was a little bit off, but like once again, just all I'm doing is making sure that with the native pieces that shaft is fine. The only reason why you would mess with the handle or hilt, excuse me, or the shaft or whatever it is to change the where you put your hands. If it's too high, too low, you're gonna want to change the piece offset. Other than that, you don't really want to mess with this. It should be good. And the pommel of this pommel right here was a little bit off. So like if I change this, of course, it's not gonna. Yeah, you see, like there's little tiny details in here, little tiny space. It's a little bit off. I could move it up, sure, but I mean it's fitting decently. Some of the handles have a little bit of space in there, but once again, right there, it's just not made for it, and that's fine. I don't particularly care, but that pommel and shaft I do not need to mess with. So these two are fine. I'm just gonna have to mess with this in XML and then this in Blender because this is off position wise. So just want to quickly show you how I do that, how I look at all that stuff. Another thing I want to kind of look at, because I just changed all of the, yeah, you see how huge these things are? I just scaled them down because they were pretty big. Keyforce did make them pretty significantly bigger. I dropped the scale down in the weapons from 100 to 80 to see what happens. So we'll see kind of what happens with that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fix the guard while I'm here. So here's the hand guard. Let me just do this real quick. We're going to see which one it is. Is it previous piece or next piece? So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this. Well, let me just go get a quick eye for it again. Yep. Okay, so I need to now, I'm looking at this, I'm just making sure whatever piece I move is going to move up 5 inches, so, or 5 centimeters. So I'm going to quickly save it, and I'm going to load in. So the great thing about doing this specifically is I don't have to restart the whole game. All I have to do is just save it and load. So when you're doing XML changes for weapons specifically, or shields, or crossbows, whatever, bows, arrows, you don't have to like go out of the game 100%. You can just save and then load back in. Saves significant amount of time, especially when you're doing like 20 to 50 weapons that you're importing in at a time, or pieces of weapons. It's sort of annoying, but I'll quickly fix this guard, and then I'm going to open up Blender, import the current file, make my changes, and then export it back and update the editor. So, and then when I do that, I have to obviously stop the game. So you'll see all that here. Just once again, just trying to give you a peek behind. Okay, you see like that, it actually did. I changed it 5, so I might play around with this a little bit to see what is the specific. So I changed that 5. Yeah, you can see this, right? So I think 4 was probably 4, because you can see it poking out there. We'll probably go, so it was previous piece, by the way. I'll probably make that comment in here, previous and next piece. I'm going to make the comment in here. So so this we'll go with guard previous equals what is that thing, handle, next equals blade, and close that comment, right? So I can always remember that. And then what I'm going to do is elfin sword. Let's go there. There, go, and handguard 3 inches. And let's see what happens. I'm going to save this. I'm going to load it again. And then once again, this is so you can see, like, this is going to take a lot like time, right? Like maybe for me it's 5 minutes. When I was first doing this, it took me hours to do, just because I didn't know what I'm doing. And when you're having, this is just one piece, you can kind of count down how much time it's taking. Just imagine having, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 pieces of these. So I kind of understand why some people, they don't even care about this. They just kind of make the sword pieces all as one. And they don't care about crafting. I wouldn't also care about crafting, but the thing is one of the things that's cool about this is, one, obviously some people do care about crafting, but the thing is I can make multiple different variations if it's all nice and neat. I can, basically you can create as many, so that's a little bit off, so I think it is 4. As many variations as you want. Let's see. Yep, it's 4. Okay, so I have that now. I don't need to check it again. I'll check it again after I do my editing of in Blender, the 3D model. So I'll bring down, this looks like a 4. We'll just do 3 and we'll see what happens. So I'm just going to exit out of the game. All right. So here I have my editor open. You guys will see this. Here's my Blender back here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go import and then FBX file, because that's what it is. I'm going to go to my modules folder, and I'm just going to grab the file straight from where it is currently sitting in the armory. I think it's swords files, boom. So I'll grab that, right? Now, here's how it kind of has to be laid out, ladies and gentlemen. So I just kind of want to let you guys see this. It has to come with a bow, and that bow just is like this kind of version. It's a very very bland. Like most people don't, add anything. It's a triangle count of 1. Of course the editor won't let me. Come on, you gotta be kidding me. Again, see what I mean? Like this shit just blows. Okay. Um, but yeah, you have to have a bow for all of your swords, everything, right? Basically everything. That's the wrong. Whereas I'm just trying to show you Iron Hills, right? So each one comes with a bow for all the weapons. The shields need to come with a bow cap and a bow, and this is explained online way better than I'm ever going to explain it. And then these need to also come with a bow. Just Keyforce failed me on this. That's fine. I'll show you Isengard because Solos did it correctly and Keyforce didn't. It's fine. I'll just yell at him later. But as you can see, all of the crossbows and stuff like that go with bows too. Crossbows, bows, longbows, short bows, etc., etc. There are guidelines online. I forget specifically where. That basically says that long bows should not be more than 180 centimeters, and short bows, I think it's like 156. You have to go once again figure it out because the animations will not work, is what people were finding. So unless you want to go pay someone to do animations, it's really important. And then another thing that's important about bows specifically, and any kind of handle, is it needs to be centered in Blender on where you want the hands. So we learned this kind of the hard way because we centered it, I think, either in the middle or on the string or something like that, and it was like you can see some of the older pictures. But center these where you want the hands. You have to center it in Blender. So that's that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to my boy's Rivendell. Give me a second. What he fixed was I just noticed like the sword blade was really short compared to the handle. The handle was very, very long. And so what I just asked him to do was make the handle and the sword the same length. So I was reading online and they said the sword and the sword was 50-50 basically. So now you can see this. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm not a Blender expert, so give me a second. Yeah, I'm just gonna import that again because I'm not a Blender expert at all, and I don't really want to fuck this up. Okay, cool. Oh, okay, fine. I'm not gonna hold on. I'm just gonna exit out, come back in. Come back in. And go back to my modules. Armory. Asset sources is where all the FBX files are. Don't mess with the assets. I'll tell you about that a little bit later. But you want to be in asset sources is where all of the updates and stuff like that go. Assets is where you just don't touch it unless you have to delete something. But once again, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Where are my weapons? There we go. Swords. Hi, Elven. Boom. Let's import this. Okay. It's been a long time since I had to do this. Okay, here we go. All because of Solos. We're just going to highlight these things. I'm going to actually only show the blade because that's what I want. All right, so the blade, as you can see, is centered wherever it's centered. I think it needs to be changed, but that's fine. You guys can come down here. One of the first things I'm going to do, left-hand side, I'm going to go to Tools, I think. No, hold on. Where is it? What is that called? Scene. I'm going to go to Units. I'm going to change meters to centimeters. All right. Before I do anything, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click Shift Control A. Where is it? Nope. Oh, I need to go to Edit Mode. Sorry. Edit Mode. Control A. Maybe. Hopefully I do this right. We're going to find out right now. G, Z, -3. Nope. Okay, so it didn't. You see how some of that moved and some of it didn't? So I'm just going to go back. Make sure I am back on centimeters. What is. Why? I don't want to apply anything. I want to. Maybe it's Shift A. Nope. Alt A? Nope. There's a way to select all of this so that it all changes. I might have to ask the bros real quick, or ask ChatGPT. I think it is. Oh, I'm still in object mode. Go to edit mode. Here we go. And then now GZ -3. It's still only doing some of them. Okay. GZ -3. Nope, still. Control A. Okay, that's working. In edit mode, I think. How about let's click over here. Sorry. See, we're all learning together. Look at this. Now I think it's Control A. Nope. Alt A. Nope. What the hell is it? Select? Can I do all? Okay, whatever. I select and then all, whatever the shortcut. Oh, it's A without anything, isn't it? Hold on. I'm sorry, I just have to figure this out. Yeah, it's A without anything. So G, Z, -3, and then boom. Then I'm done. I'm going to save that. I'm actually going to, it doesn't matter, but I'm now going to File. I'm going to export. FBX file. I'm going to go back to my location where I put that in there. Asset sources, weapons, swords, high elves, boom. I'm just going to click on that. What I'm going to do is I have presets already done. Bannerlord, I'm going to do actually active collection because there's nothing else in here. I want to export all of it. One of the things that it does do is you don't want to, it will automatically have add leaf bones. You want to click that off. That's the only kind of preset that I have. All this, I forget, but there are like people who do 3D modeling know specifically how to do that. I'm just going to do this. Then I'm going to pop this back up, and then it pops up with Bannerlord pops up with this and says, "Hey, do you want to update this?" Yes, I want to always update. Sometimes you only want to click on update, and then this will freeze. Well, it would normally freeze, ladies and gentlemen. I guess that was very quick to get into the game. But yeah, so you want to make sure that this is correct. And I'm just going to go check my settings real quick to make sure that that is also correct. These are, what I do is, when I'm originally, yes, this is good. Good. When I look at materials, what I try to do is look at the native assets and then figure out how the native has it, and then I just try to copy that because there's a lot of different language in here that I don't know anything about. So as long as I kind of keep the weapons and shields and stuff like that the same as native, I don't think that there should be too much of an issue. So this is kind of the settings that I have. I put in obviously the D, the N, the S. I'm actually very curious if we can do grayscale to weapons. That would be pretty interesting kind of concept for certain things. But anyways, that's down the line. If Solos, maybe we could play around with Solos and figure that out. That would be pretty interesting to do. Two-sided, boom, 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 done. Making sure that's good. Now what I want to do is I'm going to leave Blender open just in case I do have to come back in. I'm going to launch my game again because once again I just made a edit to the FBX file. So like when people ask me like when I push out new updates, especially in Patreon and stuff like that, hey, do I need to do a new save? Yes. Why? Because I probably most likely added FBX files that you didn't have, and then also or modified FBX files that you had, and a new save just makes sure that you're loading all those things in, or else you're probably going to get some errors, or it's going to already have those from the old module saved, so you won't have anything from the new module. I think I haven't tested it out, but that's why I just tell everyone if I'm doing code, definitely code. I mean, you're going to have to update your save game because of that, and stuff like that. So I'm just going to enter I'm just gonna load up a real quick, whoever's first. Rohan probably is first in this. It's taking me a long time to load, so it's gonna take you even longer. Okay, I'm just gonna randomly pick things just to get in game. And then when I get in game, I'm just gonna go straight to the smith and see what did we do. All right, boom, boom. Okay, better, better. Now is it perfect? Now that is the question. It might have to go 4, but we're gonna find out. Stop it. I'm just trying to. Sorry, I don't want to blind you guys, so. Son of a gun. It's 5. It's 5. Okay. It needs to go down. I'm just gonna check the pommel. Or what was it? Was it the pommel? What did I change? The guard? Yeah, it was the guard. Sorry. I changed it to 3, correct? Yeah, and it's looks like it's perfect. Yeah, see, it works with all the native assets, so that is beautiful. So this has to be. It's definitely 5. It's 5. So I'm gonna stop this again, and we're gonna do this again. So I'm gonna make sure I'm in edit mode. I'm gonna make sure that I have all of the blades selected. Hit A, and then I'm gonna hit G, and then another -2. Oh shit, that's wrong. Hold on. Boop. Okay. I'm not gonna play around. Hold on. I'm just gonna open up Blender again. I don't know what I hit G and then I hit -3, so I think it moved it somewhere other than the Z axis. That's what the Z axis. Axis? Yeah, something like that. So I ensure I have it correct because I don't like to mess around these things too much. Not my lane, ladies and gentlemen, not my lane. So if Solus did his job right the first time, we wouldn't have to be doing this, but that's fine. I will berate him later, making me do all this work. I actually enjoy this. It's a lot of fun to kind of learn this stuff and make sure that it is working as intended. Okay, so object mode, edit mode. I'm going to go click on this. I'm just going to go with that. GZ -2. Oh shit. You know what I did? So I didn't change the units, did I? No, I did not. So boom, Control Z. I'm going to go back up here to scene, back up here to units, back up here from meters to centimeters. All right, now let's try that again. All right, GZ -2. Boom, hit enter. Now it doesn't matter, but I'll just boom. File export, FBX, same location. And what's this? Yep. Asset sources. I'm going to go to weapons. I'm going to go to swords. I'm going to go to boom, boom. Select my preset, and then just do active instead of selected objects and export. And then that's just going to automatically update because I already told it to do it. Let's see. Hello. Thank you. See, I can't click on anything. Now you see that. So that's what I was trying to show you guys last time. It just happened so fast, but I couldn't click on anything. That's how I know it was updating. And it should be good now. So now what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to launch this game. Now you guys can start to see a little bit of the kind of behind the scenes of getting weapons into the game. This happens with shields. It happens with swords. All of the weapons. I'm not going to go through all of them, but anything that it doesn't happen with shields because I have to actually put those on, walk into a village, and then look at them. Then I have to make because you can't smith a shield. Would be pretty cool to do. But another thing to bring up about that, right? So swords, when you're commissioning people, they have to do it specifically to this, right? So you have to come with a bow. It has to always have a bow. It can be the lowest, kind of poly count. Like it can be low poly. I think it's low poly that has the shittiest, kind of. It's just literally a block That's all that matters. It's just used to tell the engine this is the kind of outline of the bow, so that when you're hitting, it knows when to apply the damage. It needs to come with a blade, handguard, hilt, pommel. So okay, blade, guard, handle, and then pommel. Those pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, need to come at all times. With spears, you can get away with just the blade and the handle. With hammers, with anything like basically two hand, you don't have to. I mean, you don't have to have all these things, but like it does matter. And I'll show you guys a little bit, when this is loading, I guess, what this looks like from an XML standpoint. Okay, so I'm going to go back into my modules, right? I'm going to go back into my armory. Here's module data. Here's where all my stuff is. I'm just looking to make sure there's some stuff I don't need in here. I'll probably get rid of later. But here's the 4 things that you need to edit, right? When you're getting this stuff into the game. Weapon description. So when people are like, hey, can I use your armory in my native mod? No, because you're going to have to come in here. You're going to have to make some changes to these things, and I'll sort of talk about that. So with that being said, okay, and then I'm going to have to go to weapons, right? And boom. So those are the things. Shields are shields. Horses, this is horse armor and horses. I put bows and all the other weapons, shields in here just to keep them separate so I can, kind of make sure everything's good. But here's kind of like what's happening. I use an XSLT. Once again, shout out to Carolina and Realm of Thrones. What I usually do is I go and I downloaded Realm of Thrones and I ripped it apart on what did he do, how did he set it up, and then I kind of tried to make mine the same format, right? So I'm just going to, while I talk right here, just try to get in the game. So I just kind of followed his format and then just started opening it up and kind of removing it. So what this does is it loads native assets first, so it loads all the native XMLs first, and then it just appends all of these in these kind of templates. So there is a native crafting templates. So what I'm doing is I'm saying, hey, add all my pieces in here. All right, so these are all one-handed swords. And as you can see, I need to add the blade, the guard, the hilt, and the pommel. So I'm just adding all of the crafting pieces I made from the crafting pieces. There's a lot that can go wrong in these. Once again, spaces matter. I'm sorry, not spaces. Dots, periods, misnaming matters. So if you get a crash, unless you're in debug mode, it's very difficult to kind of figure out why. And I'll show you another thing from XML's perspective. A log that you can go to figure out if you have any XML errors. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Usually it's pretty good on telling you specifically where it is. Next thing is weapon descriptions, XSLT. Once again, doing the same thing. I'm just, it has a native one. I'm just adding to it. I'm appending my stuff to it per location. Crafting pieces is all new. That's why it is so like it loads the native crafting pieces and then it loads this one. So I don't need an XSLT because I'm not appending. I'm just like literally adding like load mine too. And because there's no like duplicates, it doesn't matter too much. And then this is like probably where you're going to spend the most of your time. The length, the width, the weight all matter. How the weight matters because of it calculates how fast to swing your weapon, and so that's another thing. Like if someone sees like someone swinging a sword really really fast or a hammer or whatever too fast, one of the things that you can come in here and do is with the blade or the handle or whatever it is, just increase the weight a little bit. I did that with the hammers because I was like it was a real slow movement with the dwarf hammers and axes and stuff like that. So I just came in here and sort of edited it so it swings a little bit faster, so you can crush skulls a little bit easier. But yeah, length has to be correct, and it is in centimeters. And I usually for this specifically I go to the nearest. You can go to the nearest if you want. I try to get exact as possible. So you can go 2 digits in. Don't do 3. It won't work. It will only accept 2 digits. So for some of them you can see. Well, of course I say that. Okay, there you go. So for some of them you can see I go 2 digits in. These spaces bother me. So that changes on shields. You do not want to do this in shields. You want to go exact, so do it to the nearest centimeter. It does not accept dots, digits at all. So just keep that in mind. And then the last thing is the weapons. So this is kind of telling it how to piece it together. And then I just also added all is merchandise so that people can go buy these things from the shop. So I do apologize if it's not in there. You can go and change it here. Just add this flag, if you will, this field, excuse me, not flag, field, to this. It should be fixed in mine. But anyways, so there's that. Yeah, so this is not going to be you can cry about it. Kill him. Kill him. Actually, I don't think that you can kill him and grab it because I think I turned it off. Hold on. Let me see if that flag's on. Sauron's mace. Is it on? Is it on? Nope. Nope. It is not. So you can't get that sword. All right, fine. I'll turn it on. I thought that you could probably kill him and take it from him, but that's fine. I'll just turn that on. Boom. Okay, cool. But those are the 4 ones that you need to edit to get it in game. So I moved it 5 total. So let's see if that works. And then I can go and berate Solus for not doing this for me. I just talked him up, gave him a whole bunch of shout outs, and that looks great actually. Is it 5? Was it 5? Let's see. I'm just trying to make sure that there's no, because some of you guys are real anal about this stuff. Was there a space? It might be another .5 because of that right there. Maybe. I might bring it down another .5. I'll do that off stream, but maybe, yeah, I think so. I think I can bring it down .5 and cover this little bit right there. But that is a now completed sword. It will look good. I can now put that onto, it's already on Blade Masters, but it will look better. So the last thing I need to do is I need to go test it and make sure that it works. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to cheat and I'm going to open up this. It's going to take a long time to load, of course. I have cheat modes on, so I get to see all the inventory. But the last thing is I want to do is I want to go into a village, and I want to put it on, see where my hand is placed. If I need to change the placement, I can in game. Hey, what did I call that? Rivendell? I don't know what I called it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Maybe it's called Noldor. No, I don't know. Oh yeah, it's called Noldor Two Hand. Boom, look at it. Make sure it looks good. I like to get naked. Oh no, that one. How much does it cost? Oh, it's expensive, isn't it? Oof, that's expensive, ladies and gentlemen. That's okay. All right, cool. It looks good. Now I'm gonna leave. I'm just gonna go to a village. I go to a village because I don't want to test and crash. I know that this village works 100%, and I don't want to crash if I try to enter the city and whatever. So I guess I'll test that a little bit later. Make sure I can enter all the cities and don't crash. All right, let's see. That doesn't look bad. Yeah, it doesn't look bad at all. All right. I'm just gonna go to photo mode and go around, make sure it looks good. Yep, I think that's fine placement for the handle. All right, looks good. Now I can get up out of here. I'm just gonna end the game. And that's kind of how you do each and every single weapon. I'm going to leave this open. I'm just going to move it to another screen. I just want to move that another 0.5 centimeters down. That can be done there. Other than that, is there anything else I can show you here? No, I don't think so. Did I get anything else from him? No, I don't think so. Okay, so next thing I want to do is sanitize. Okay, make sure there's nothing down here. Cool. Okay, so this is the map. This is the editor map. One thing I do down here is I go down here the camera speed because I can't handle 1. I just increase it to 10. You can increase it to, what the hell is all the way up here? Anyways, yeah, so I already showed you guys that rune's done. What's not done is the nav meshing. So I just wanted to show you guys kind of nav mesh. I have to fix a couple things in my nav mesh because some people pointed out some things. So what I do is I come over here to the end or nav mesh. Right now it's on, I think vertexes. So I'm going to just hit 3 on my keyboard, and now you can see the actual nav mesh faces. It's really important that you guys know this. So what I usually do is I'm just going to Control A. I'm going to go T. I'm going to bring this up. Yeah, I'll bring it up. Why not? All right. So what I'm looking for is any holes. Right. I want to make sure that there's no holes in any of this, and you can usually see them pretty easily. But when you have this all done, it sometimes is difficult. So I'm just making sure that there's no holes. Maybe I have to get closer. Boom, boom, boom. Right, so that's one of the things when you're doing a complete nav mesh, you want to just raise it up and make sure that there's no holes in it, because if there is a single hole, it's going to crash. All of your scene needs to be nav mesh. It doesn't matter if it's not used or used. It needs to be nav meshed from what I found. You could maybe someone else there can correct me if I'm wrong. So what I'm going to do is now I'm just going to adjust height and then go back to the normal mode. So there's 2 things I have to fix. Okay, so in here, I think I was showing you in the last video that I had to fix. This wasn't working. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this side, I'm just going to drag it up just a little bit, and then you can see right here, you see that little tiny space? That is what is causing my issue. So I'm just going to delete it, and then it's not going to allow me, so maybe I'm going to have to be cheap about this. How can I do this? So I can do this, and I can do that, and then that. Boom, done, right? So, that little hole, and then, okay, so I should have showed you that better. So here, I'll do it again. I'm just going to collect these 2, delete. One of the things I want to do is, so 1 is planes. This is 7, so the different colors is if it's passable or not. So 1 is plains, this is 7, so it's mountains, which tells it you cannot go. 4, I believe, is forest. 11 is water, so rivers, I believe, specifically. I think this, I forget which one it is, but this is like water. Maybe it's rivers. Maybe I have it vice versa. Maybe this one, 11, is water, and this one's rivers. I think that that's really going to matter soon in the, what do you call it, the DLC, because of how you're going to use your ships. If it's not correct, I don't think that it's going to work in the new game. So like I may have to come in here and make these specifically to either rivers or water, so that people can kind of move their boats on it, and that's going to be a very interesting thing. Let's make sure what, yeah, they're 11, so 11 something, maybe it's river, and I think this is water. 10 is water. I'm pretty sure that's it. So I'm gonna have to change all the 10s to probably whatever. I don't know. It depends on what they set. But that is not where I'm trying to go. But that is that. So once again, that's how you can. Oh, so that's what I was trying to say. Is I come over here to this, and I'm gonna set. I'm just gonna click on something. Hello. Okay. So I'm going to come back over here. Right now it's 0. I'm going to set this to 1 so that any new thing that I make is a plane. So I learned this the hard way. I used to nav mesh this whole thing in 0, which means that you can go, there's no, like, that's right there is 0. This blue right here is 0. You can do whatever you want to that. I used to nav mesh the whole map in 0, and then I would come through and individually select these and do what I need to do, change the face ID. Then I learned this way after doing it probably about 4 times to figure out some errors and other mistakes that I was doing. So now I selected it to 1. So any new thing that I do will always be planes, right? And you just want to make sure that like that's kind of like how I attack it now. Hello, come on, you piece of crap. Of course. So now what I'm doing is I hit the space bar, right? That I can put these dots down if I wanted to, right? I can put one right. Let's see what I can do. But I can break this up and make it smaller. Some people like to do that. I don't particularly care. I might actually do that. Give me a second. Let me see. Okay, so everyone can go through this. Interesting. Maybe I do break it up. So I'll show you something. I'm gonna just break this up right here. I'm gonna break it up right here. Can I do that? Boom. Okay, so that is now one, and it looks good. So now I'm gonna change this to I'm gonna change it to I'm not going to change it to 7. I'm going to change it to urban or rural. I just have to find the ID to it. That is not it. I think I did it in Rohan a lot. Okay, what's this pinkish color? That's 14. I'm going to change these to 14. And so that like I just kind of limit where you can go or where your character can go in here. So once again, I'm just going to change this face from 0 to 14. All right. You've seen how I just made a new one, and I'm going to show you some more of this, but boom, boom. Now I think that that's good now, so that they're going to be able to go through these two kind of bridges that are in the icon, these two little bridges here, and then not be able to go through this. One of the things for towns is all you need to do is cover the front gate. The rest you can do as you wish. I was kind of lazy with this. I'm just looking here, sorry. I mean, I can change this to 14. I think that this will matter. Yeah, I'll leave these two alone. But one of the things I can do is break this up and like, oh nope, come on, not 32. I want 14, and then leave it alone. Stop it. 14. Leave it alone. Get off of it. All right. Go to 1. Yeah. So that's good. I think that you can just boom boom through there. And now I think that fixes this, and I'll show you guys how I do that. So now the next thing I need to fix is I think that there is a yep, there is that piece of crap. There is a hideout right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to break this off a little bit. It's not going to be good, but boom. Yeah, that's trash. I'll do that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just grab this. I'm just going to change it to a 1. So that hideout, people can maybe even change this to a 1 just to be safe. All right, because someone was saying that they couldn't do anything here. And it was true. You couldn't do anything there. The hideout was not really spawning anything. I think that they crashed or whatever. So that's good. That's kind of some of the help that I need is someone to go in here and make sure that you can navigate to everything, especially up here. It's a little dicey and stuff like that. So I could just come through here and make sure that I did it correctly. Now what I want to do is I didn't really do anything. What is this? This should all be river. So I'm just going to once again click on all these. This is what I used to do is click on all these. Holy smokes. I could drag, but once again you're going to miss something, and one mistake is annoying. I'm just going to check my Discord to figure out which one this should be. I'm just going to make it a river because that's what it is. Which is impassable right now, so you can't pass on a river. Let me look at my Discord. Let me look at where is it? My secret? Is it in my secret channel? My super secret channel? Okay, so river is 11. So I'm just going to change these to 11. Once again, I think it's going to matter. Yeah, so that is, I now confirmed. So river is that blue, and the other one is water. So that purplish pink one is water. What is this? Okay. Once again, you just want to make sure that you're getting just that. Sorry. 11. Now I'm just going to check it out. Oh, we're gonna have to basically redo this because you're gonna want to be able to go here, and all that is now impassable. So let's see, what's this? Yeah, so we're gonna have to make this a little bit smaller, break this up a little bit. Um, I'll do that a little bit off camera. I don't want you guys to have to sit here. Oh my God, there's more. Good Lord. Okay. I'm just gonna make this all 11, and I'll change it a little bit later. This looks like water over here. Looks like water right here. All these blue lines, kind of easy to see. I don't think this matters too much for right now. What I can do is easily break this apart if it will allow me. I say easy, but I don't think it's going to be easy. It won't let me grab this line. That's fine. Once again, I'll do this later. But one of the things I do want to do is just change all of these to rivers. This is going to have to be broken down. That's fine. I'll do that in a second. But this is nav meshing, right? So I'll show you how to do it a little bit in Ruin and Iron Hills. Making sure I just grab all of these. Make sure I don't jack it up. What I'll probably do is delete this and do it a little bit more fine-tuned. But for now, we can do it like this. Alright, is that a bridge? Let me look at this. Yeah, it's a bridge. Is it a good bridge? I guess so. Could be better, but it is what it is. And there's a bridge here. Yes, so one of the things I'll do is make, oof, that looks like it's too close. It's gonna go like this then. It's gonna be ugly. Let's just do this for right now. I'm going to have to, I'm going to delete it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to delete it, is what I should have said. Okay, so now I'm going to do this. Boom, there's two dots right there. What is this? Forest. Cool. I'll delete that too, because I want to do this. This is kind of how I do bridges. Put it right there. And then, are you going to give it to me? Are you going to give it to me? No? And this is the game that we play. It does not like, I know why it does not like, so I'm going to have to delete all this. Boom, boom, boom. What is this? Boom. Oh, you piece of crap. Come on, give it to me. What is there? Okay, I'm just going to remove these vertices. So I'm going to come down here to debugging tools, remove unused vertices. Oh, what are you doing here? What is this? Oh, it's still something here. What is there? How about this? No, there's nothing here. I don't know what, it's like smoking crack or something. Come on. What is that? Okay, fine. We'll do this the hard way. What we're going to do is we're just going to erase this whole area because I don't know what is there. There's literally nothing there. It's high. So that's what I'll do. Raise the area. I don't know why it's snagging onto this. That's crazy. So maybe I do this. How about this? I'm just going to lift this up and see. Of course, it's 14, so we'll have to change that. I'm going to change these from that to 1, or maybe even 4 for a forest. Come here. I'm going to change it to 4 for a forest. Okay, and then I'm going to change this to a 1, and then try to do my bridge. Are you going to allow me? Still not going to allow me. Do my bridge. This is going to be very difficult. Now what I want to do is I want to bring this back down. So I'm just going to do T, bring it back down a little bit so I can see it. Where does it end? Okay. Come in here and get as close as I can. Yeah, just so that I know that I'm in as close as I can to the water. Make sure that's all 1. It is all 1. I'm just trying to figure out, okay. Just gonna break that off. Boom. That should be good. The next piece can be water. So I'll do that in a minute. Let me just do this. I think I already did that, didn't I? It's just under there. Yeah, it is. Okay. Maybe I need that. There we go. So I can see what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove unused vertices again. And this is nav meshing, ladies and gentlemen. I'll just change this real quick to 11. Base ID 11. And as you can see, this is kind of like the surgery that you have to do to make sure that your game is correct. Oh, now you give it to me, you piece of hot dog shit. Okay. Oof. Don't want to do that. That looks terrible. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this, I'm going to move it on the red. Can I move it? I'm just going to cover this a little bit more. Boom. And then what I'm going to do is not do. Oh, you see, but like it looks like it's jacked that way now. T. This a little bit out. I don't know. I'm gonna have to. That looks fine. Yeah. Now I could do. Oof! Look at that sliver. That is not going to be good. This right here is going to cause problems, so I'm just going to delete it. Now, I'm just going to change these to 11. It is 11. Now what you can do is click on this side, and this side I just press 2, and I'm going to do fill. And I think it just jacked it up, but let's see. I'm going to look up underneath it. What in the world is this? Did he put 2 icons down here? Oh, I have it raised. Okay, got it, understood. Where am I? Way off. That's where I am. Sorry, this just looks jacked. Yeah, it is jacked. Okay. So I'm gonna have to do this over again. Okay. So, yep, just should be good now. Maybe. Nope. See if that does it. Looks good. Change these to forest or ones. Don't really matter. Okay. I don't know what is 3? 3 is snow. Okay. And then yeah, let me go add this in. I can actually just change these to 4s. Hitting the space bar to get to this again, and now all I have to do is just kind of break this up. This is too well. One of the things that you can do is max vertex distance fill. I can just go to like 50, and that will then also solve that issue. Instead of breaking it up, you can just do that. Now I just want to make sure it looks like there's a hole here, but let's see. No, there isn't a hole here. Make sure there's nothing there is a hole there. Sneaky little bastard. Fill. Boom, done. That looks good. Oh, another hole. Is that a hole? Is that a hole? Yep. You want to kill holes with righteous fury. Boom. Okay. Now what I can do is I'm just going to leave that alone. But later on, what I'll do is I'll Control A and then I'll just adjust height. Boom, and it will adjust height of all the map. Okay, so this needs to be nav meshed. And what is 5? Step. Okay, cool. He did change it to that. Alrighty. These are all mountains. So what I like to do is, this is going to be crazy to some people. I'm just trying to look where the fuck I am. Yeah, so what I like to do, I'm going to leave this alone, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all of this. I'm going to do it by hand, like I did all the other areas. As you can see, I'm going to do that. I'm going to delete this whole area and do it by hand, probably to include this. Let's see, what's up here? Is this all connected? One of the things that you can do is, I need to go find this village. Hold on, let me go, where's Yarn? It's probably over here. There's a village that I can't get to up here. That's weird, because it says I can get to it. That's interesting. Maybe I'm just going to do this real quick. I'm just going to lower this so I can see the village, which is right there. I'm going to hire it. It's blocked in by 7s. You see that? So there's the village. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase this this section right here. I actually don't want to do that, not on the edges. I want to do this. I'm just going to make that, I'm going to delete these 7s because it's having a hard time. Boop, delete. And what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do a 1. All right. Oh, I didn't. It doesn't matter. I'm deleting all this anyways. I should do a 1. It does not like that, so I'm just going to fill it. It's one little trick that I like to do is fill. And that should cover that little issue I was having earlier. But one of the things I'm going to do is I will delete this. I know Black Rose spent some of his time doing it. I'm just going to delete it and just do it again. Looks like this might be good. But anyways, this looks like it's good. But yeah, so that's nav meshing. One of the things I'm going to do is, once again, I'm just going to bring it up because I did touch a lot of areas. I'm just going to bring it up, make sure that there's no holes. Okay. Make sure that there's no holes. I don't know why that's not. Literally control A-ing. Should grab everything. That's fine. Yeah, just make sure that there's no visible holes. I don't know what's going on with this craziness over here, why it's a different color than red, but that's fine. Alright. No visible holes. Once again, and then I'll go adjust height. And then what I like to do is I'd like to control A and then T. And then what that is going to do is it kind of increases some of the height. So adjust height is fine for like doing mass amounts of areas, and then sometimes it just goes a little bit too ham, especially on the bridges, so that you kind of like go underneath the bridge or whatever. But yep. So that is that. What is this? Is this shallow? That's 6 shallow water. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's that. That's nav meshing, right? So what I'm going to have to do is, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save it. Might take a little bit to save because it is a huge file now. That's one of the things. It might actually take a long time to save, but there's these scripts up here. You guys can see it up here on the right. It says run these before testing a game. So there's 2 scripts that you have to run. One's in the top. Oh, it did save. See, boom, doing great. So now I can show you this. One is it's over here in the top right, I believe, and one's in the bottom left, and it just basically does the cache. So I go down the scripts, I go down to save positions, and it might take, oh, it did not. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to compute and save, and this might take a while. Yeah, so this might take a while. Long story short, that is nav meshing, that is weapons. I'll show you a little bit more in detail from start to finish a little bit when I get the next batch, probably on Friday or Saturday. And I'll show you kind of the end result of the nav meshing, because I'm going to probably delete all of it and then redo it to my liking, if you will. So there is that. Once again, got Ruin done. The main objective here is to get the map done and then add the detail, the nice textures and stuff like that, and beautify it. The beautification part is probably going to come a little bit after. I think that like Black Rose gets it to about 70-80%, and then he moves on. Which once again we agreed on that. It wasn't like he just did that out of willy-nilly. I told him I'd rather have. Is this done? No, it's not. Okay. I'd rather have the map done than to have everything beautiful. So he also kind of attended agreed. So he's going to get it to about 80%, 70-80%, and then he's going to move on. So the next region is going to be Harad, probably Umbar, and Southern Gundor. I think that we are actually talking about it. So if you do have any kind of thoughts, stuff like that. So here's where we're talking about it. This is what we're going to be working on right here. So if you do have thoughts on kind of maps or something like that, please let us know. Some of these are fan fiction. Some of them are Tau Worlds. Sorry, not Tau Worlds. Tokens stuff. So that's what we're kind of working on. This is probably my favorite map because it just once again goes a little bit more. This is definitely fan made, but it goes a little bit kind of more detailed into where things are, the names of them and stuff like that. So long story short is I tend to use this map and others like that to do that. But yeah, so that's what we're kind of working on. Once again, if you have ideas, thoughts, we will obviously take them in consideration as we're building it out. But that's the kind of the area that we're going to be focusing on next. Really, this area. Yeah, but other than that, that is where we're at. Key Force is knocking out Dane armors. I already kind of gave the update on Leo V with the Elf armors. Solo said that he'll be done on Friday with Rohan shields in the colors. So we'll get those in game. I'll show you how to do those. Those are pretty easy to do, except if you have to mess with the positioning. Shout out to Bennett for doing all that, and then I think it was Spartan that also does it for me. And then what's going to happen is Igor will finish up 12 rune helmets. So that you guys, it will be definitely a different variation of. There's going to be 12 helmets, 12 separate helmets combined with what's already in. So it's 12 new helmets, I guess I should say that as. And then last but not least, Heart and so New Blossom has been working on the UI. He's going to get that knocked out hopefully by Friday for the Patreon version. If it doesn't, then we're going to work on it. We'll work on it and maybe bump it out the week after. But the UI will be completely changed in game. For the most part, there are some things that need to be worked out and stuff like that. But Hart, shout out to Hart who did something completely awesome. So the main screen is going to be a bunch of scenes, and he's right now like doing the scenes. So like one of the scenes that he did, I just want to show you guys this because I think it's pretty freaking cool. And but it also opens up some of the things that we can do. So here's one of the scenes. Let me see if it will play. Right, so here's one of the main menus. Pretty cool. Weathertop is surrounded by Nazgul, so that's going to be pretty cool. And then the next one is this one. Just Frodo, and what he wanted to kind of do is move, kind of like do scenes, individual scenes of them traveling the countryside, and then finally ending up in Mount Doom. So I think that would be pretty cool. I don't want him to spend too much time doing it, but I think that is pretty awesome. One of the things that he did do, and I want to show, that are going to be kind of scenes that like in these scenes change, right? So they'll change at a specific frequency. But one of the things that like he was doing, let me just show you this. Here you go. This is going to be kind of cool. Setting the units with the armors in game with kind of well-known characters and stuff like that. Now we can't really change too much of the characters. It doesn't allow that for most part in the editor, but there is one. Let me go with this one. Here we go. This is kind of cool. This is for Rohan. So we'll probably have these for each culture. Pretty kind of cool. But once again, that's kind of what Hart and the team is working on. But yeah, so hopefully these will show up with a new UI. On Friday's patch for the patrons. But once again, just wanted to show you guys weapons. I wanted to show you guys how to fix things. I want to show you how to get them kind of perfect in the crafting section so that they look good. If you needed to change some things, what XMLs do you need to change? And then nav meshing, which is my joy. Oh, so that finished. So now the next thing I'm going to do is save positions and then compute this last one. And that's going to take a little bit. But yeah, I don't want you guys to sit here and have to wait through that. But going to be starting to once again do a little bit more blog, show you behind the scenes. Purpose of this is one, so that you guys can see the progress on the mod, but also so that you guys can understand like what it takes to fix some of these things that you guys want fixed, or to even implement these things that you guys want to be implemented, like trolls and elephant and war chariots and all this other stuff. Yes, other mods have sort of got this stuff in. But I think that it's important for you to understand how much time this actually takes. Like you can see me, I'm probably going to spend a whole 8 hours probably nav meshing Ebor, Dal, and Iron Hills and Rune. Will probably take me a good whole day, 8 hours of work to make sure that the nav mesh is fine. I like to do things one time, so I don't want to cut corners and do a lot of that other stuff. But yeah, so that is that. Once again, Haterade, Tales from the Age of Men. Take it easy.